All right, guys, welcome to the call today. We have a good one for you today. Super excited that you guys are a part of it along for the ride. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my most favorite things, and that is listings. And today, we're going to go through how we train some of our agents. We are a large real estate team. My name is Jeff Cook, and we are Jeff Cook Real Estate in the state of South Carolina. And if you want to look us up, feel free to Google us or look us up at jeffcookrealestate.com. We also run a coaching company at realtypartners.com. So any information that we go over here today, we also do train agents across the country. Along with me today, I have two special guests. One is Chris McDonough, the broker in charge. Say hello, Chris.
Hey, good to be here. Thank you.
Also, our rock star listing manager, our company listing manager, Mr. Mike McDonough, who does a tremendous job. You want to say hello, Mike?
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. Let's jump right in because our time is short to make sure everybody gets a ton of value out of today. Listings are key and it's important. And everybody's always said that. Everybody's always said that listings are so important to have and to keep and to maintain. But now, even more than ever with tight inventory, it's important that we even create listings or create listing opportunities. And even more importantly than that is that we squash the competition when it comes to taking listings. Just to give you a little bit of insight on us, this year we're on track to sell approximately 1,800 houses, which is awesome. We've got just over 100 agents, which is super cool as well. We are a team model as a part of a brokerage, meaning that we provide leads to our agents. And I would say about 85% of our closings are team generated based, meaning that the company provided that lead to the agent. About 15 or 20% of it is agent generated. So we're very heavy into creating marketing pieces and giving those to our agents and then creating that agent as the expert in front of the client. That's sort of our business model, if you will. And again, we teach agents across the country how to recreate that and duplicate that. But when you start thinking about listings and how do you win, how are you successful with that? The cool part is that last year we were able to list 697 properties of all the homes that we sold last year, which is about 1,600 last year. Again, about 1,850 or so this year, right on track. Just under 2,000 is where we're sort of pacing for. 697 of those 1,600 transactions last year were listing-based listings. And we know a thing or two about being able to win at the kitchen table and also where to generate listing leads from and also how to train a real estate team. The other cool part about that is that myself and Chris here, the broker in charge, we're not fortunate enough to be able to take any of those listings ourselves. And we've been able to train our team to be able to go out and win at the kitchen table, even though it's not us. And so that's what we want to talk about just a little bit here today, team growth, listing growth, and what it all sort of works out to. So Chris, while I'm sort of talking to you, I want to pass it over to you so that you can chat just a little bit about what our agents do to focus training wise for our agents. But there's one detail that everybody needs to understand, and that's that listings have babies, and they're called buyers. So if we look at 700 approximately deals that were listings over a 1,600 period, about 1.3 buyers come from every listing that we take. And so whenever we look at that, we say, okay, let's take a listing. Therefore, boom, automatically get 1.3 buyers that pop out the backside. Or that could be a yard sign call, internet marketing, whatever it may be. But every listing that we take, we know we're going to pop out more than one buyer on the backside, and that is the listing baby, aka buyer. So Chris, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Jump in and tell us just a little bit about training, how we train these agents to go out on this, to give everybody an overview as well. In addition to that, we are going to talk about some of our listing lead sources, and then Mike's going to finish us off by talking about how our agents win over the competition at the table.
Yes, absolutely. So because we know that listings helps drive our brokerage, we keep it at the forefront. So we train every single agent that comes in. We want them trained on listings. We want them knowing how to list a house, how to win at the kitchen table, how to find leads. So we don't reserve this for just the best agents at our brokerage. We teach all of our agents how to win at the listing table because it is so important, not only for their success, but our success with a healthy brokerage. So we keep that all at the front of the mind. And even if they never intend to list a house, if they just want to stick with buyers, that's perfectly fine. But we still encourage them to take these listing courses because it helps them become better buyer agents. It helps them with their communication with the other side. It helps them educate their clients, and it helps them write offers that win. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. So we offer a 3-day intensive course on strategies of how to win at the listing table and to learn the Jeff Cook Real Estate way of marketing and selling listings in this very powerful way. So because we keep our listings very front of mind, not only do we offer this training to our own agents, we offer it to agents outside the company through our Realty Partners program. Again, realtypartners.com if you want to check it out. That's open to the public. We have Zoom options. We are so excited to share this because of the growth that we've been able to experience and help other teams across the country experience. But another way that we really help to educate our agents, I almost said clients, to help educate our agents on these listings is to keep it front of mind. We talk about it at every single meeting that we have. We offer incentives and prizes for only listing production. We have this great ongoing advanced level training so that once you get past the basics, we're able to help you with these more technical situations that we just want to make sure that you're comfortable in any aspect of it. So Jeff, do you want to talk a little bit about how we find these listing leads to provide to our agents?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that's awesome. I mean, there's so many ways out there. Some of them are, low hanging fruit. Some of them are higher cost or lower cost. So we just get into a variety of things. We love some of the more advanced strategies that we do are, of course, billboards. We have anywhere from 50 to 100 billboards up around the state at all time. And also, of course, we spend money on radio advertising and image advertising and all of that stuff. And for the purpose of today's call, I'm not going to get into all of that stuff because those, again, are some advanced strategies that a lot of people just can't quite wrap their head around or maybe don't have the revenue coming in and to be able to afford that. So let's get into some lower cost listing lead generation strategies that I think are really, really helpful. One thing that's important is to every time that we sell a home, we immediately change the writer out for sale to sold. And this is, of course, whenever it goes under contract. And the reason that we do that is because that puts notice on everybody in the neighborhood that we came in and we were successful and how we go about selling homes. And of course, in this market, it appears as though we sell homes very, very quickly by changing that writer out within the first week and putting the for sale writer on there. We've taken that same strategy to go one step further than that. Whenever we represent a buyer, if you remember, again, I said in the beginning of this that not only did we do 700 listings, but we probably did somewhere in the realm of about 900 buyer controlled transactions last year, which is a lot of buyer controlled transactions. As soon as we sell that home, in our buyer agency agreement, we'll have the buyer acknowledge that they're okay with us putting a congratulatory sold sign in their yard. So what we'll do is we'll put one of our yard signs in there and then immediately put a sold writer on it. And so the perception to the public is that the other real estate agent sign came down and they may or may not have been successful selling the home. They then see our sign go up with a sold writer that then appears on there. So what this does, it gives us further image branding and advertising around those communities that we're representing both on the buy side, and then we also do this on the list side as well while that home is sold. We get a large number of, I saw that sign in the neighborhood, I saw how fast you sold that home, that are call-ins, that are people that want to list. It's interesting to me that whenever this dawned on me is that, one time we lost a listing and I had to call the client and say, why in the world did we lose? And they said, well, there was a neighborhood expert that I decided I wanted to hire. And I was like, of course they're a neighborhood expert. They've sold one home in the last 4 years and they live 2 doors down from you, right? So they're the neighborhood expert. But anyways, I took that to heart and I said, you know what, let's do this. Let's make it appear as though we are the neighborhood expert and that we move homes quickly as a result of that and tell that story. And pretty soon we have multiple homes pop up in a neighborhood as a result of being able to use this yard sign sold writer. The other thing is that we do is we use a service, Commissions Inc., which is amazing. And they have 2 really valuable tools that I want to talk about. If you guys haven't checked out Commissions Inc., I would encourage you to check them out. Whenever, whenever a buyer lead registers on their site, they ask an important question, which is, do you have a home to sell? And of course, excuse me again, if somebody answers yes to that, and of course, if they live locally, then that is a listing opportunity. It's interesting to think about the flow of how a transaction works, right? Whenever a client decides, hey, I want to go out and put my home for sale, they typically, especially in today's climate, don't decide to put their home for sale, then search for a new one. They want to search for the new home and feel like that they know something there. And then as a result of that, then come back and think about their home second. So we find that people are searching for new homes first, and then they decide what to do with their existing home. The new exciting part is the new home and the great room and the living room and the backyard and the kitchen and all of that. They're more excited about that than they are about getting rid of the hunk of junk that they currently have, right? So the idea is that let's go where their emotion is. Their emotion is in searching for that new home. Let's help them search for that new home. And as a result of that, then they'll ultimately raise their hand as a seller also. So first things first, generate buyer leads that also need to sell homes. And Commissions Inc. helps us by asking that question as they register on the sites. The second thing that Commissions Inc. has, which is really awesome, is get your home offer now. And so there's a lot of these iBuyer models out there. And iBuyer models out there are interesting because what they're doing, of course, as a lot of you know, is they'll go straight to a seller and say, hey, instead of you putting that home in the market, doing repairs, having showings, we'll just make you a cash offer on the home now. And we have an investment company as well, where we flip another 75 to 100 homes a year. What we find is a lot of these people that raise their hand and come into that investment company ultimately decide to list their home traditionally. And so the interesting part here is that if somebody raises their hand at a let's just call it a home value, I want to get my home value stage, right? That's sort of at the beginning of the process. How much is my home worth? I'm at the very top of the funnel in terms of a sales funnel or progress funnel. How much is my house worth? Well, if somebody's saying, hey, I want you to actually tell me what you'd be willing to pay me for my home, what would you offer me for my home? They're further along in the process. They're further along into the game. Now, if they, of course, don't love the number, a lot of agents get hung up on the fact, well, I'm not going to buy the home, number one. I promise you there are plenty of investors that are also in your buyer database that would. But even if you're not going to buy it, that still doesn't mean that you can't offer them a offer now price on your home. So Commissions Inc. has a new program that's currently in beta. They're getting ready to roll. It's going to be awesome. That is an offer now price. And so what they're doing is they're going out and getting potential home sellers to register as what would my offer now price be. Then they're providing those leads, of course, to their clients. So that's something that's really cool. The other thing that we do, really easy, simple techniques, is that we have quarterly newsletters that go out. We do past client touches. Of course, our 33 touch program with our past client is pretty awesome in the sense that we offer them to come to events. We offer them pies at Thanksgiving time. They come to hockey games. They come to baseball games. We resource them with quarterly newsletters. We've even created Facebook pages that host all of our family and friends and our past clients on it that are resources that they can interact with each other and find contractors and all these different things. So about 28% of all of our listings that we take are a direct referral or a repeat client that come back to us. And that's a big number. If you think about 700, 800 listings that we're going to take this year, if, I don't know, if say 300 of those, 250 of those are a result of people that A, appreciate our service, or B, because we're staying in touch with them, or referrals or recommendations from past clients, that's a big business wheel that even if we stop doing all marketing and advertising, we still could count on 300 listings coming back each and every year, no matter what, which is a big deal. So stay in touch with your past clients. If you're interested in trying to find out some resources for that, we can certainly offer that through our coaching company at Realty Partners that we have, if you're interested in finding out more information to that. I want to turn it over to Mike real quick. Mike is our listing manager. He does such a good job of keeping the agents motivated, also giving them tools and techniques. Mike, give us a few ideas on what our agents' resources are, whether it be at the kitchen table or ahead of time with the endorsement videos. Like, tell us a little bit about that, how our agents are winning listings big.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. It's very exciting stuff. As Jeff said, going off that 697, I do want to throw it out there that as of 2021, we are at 289 live listings, and that's just in May last month was 70 live, and we're currently at 23, and today is the 9th. So anyways, I'm very excited about that. Our team's just doing a great job. With that, the tools that we provide, our main goal for the listing agents is not only, hey, come work at our firm, but not only can you help buyers, but we want you on the seller team. We want you to help with listings. So our main goal is to make them feel like they are the big dog. So many times they sit at the kitchen table and they feel like, you know what, I'm not Jeff Cook. This isn't my program. I'm not him. So what we have created over the years is a syllabus and a training tool to teach these agents and give them enough confidence to know that, you know what, even though I'm not Jeff Cook, I am still the big dog. And I really feel powerful about that, with that. So not only do we provide them with a 3-day course, which is roughly a 16-page syllabus. After they complete that course, we give them a cheat sheet. We call it a listing interview cheat sheet. It's just a friendly reminder of things that you need to look out for. So we teach them protocol. We teach them how to be, how to stay in communication, how to stay proactive instead of reactive. Some of the most important things too, of course, is agent relationships, how to stay nice, professional. And the biggest thing is how to communicate with your sellers. I think that's just in everybody's market. One of the #1 reasons we get fired is communication. So that's a big thing with us. So we have armed our seller agents with quite a few tools. And then of course, with the time that we have here, just a few things we wanted to hit on is the biggest thing is that everyone is intimidated about that phone call, that first phone call with the sellers. And they're usually looking out for one thing is, hey, before you come interview with my family, what's your commission? What do you guys charge? And we have taught over the years, we have come up with something that we thought was awesome. Of course, I'm sure some of you out there have come up with something like this, but we came up with a commission menu. And the commission menu is basically 4 different plans. It goes from 4 different levels. So with those levels, it shows all of the marketing and all of the services that we provide. So when we have that phone call, that's when our agent can go, this is great, Mrs. Smith. I'm glad that you asked that question. I'm available Tuesday or Thursday between 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, what have you. And we can actually go over our commission menu and let your family choose what best fits your of course, your financial needs and your services that you're going to. We found that using just a commission menu instead of answering that question about the services not only allows them to stay in control of the transaction, but it also is not just giving some certain discount. And I know a lot of us don't like that word discount. I got to tell you, we're not really running into that here in today's market with discounts because we're providing this commission menu. And instead of them choosing a higher service, they just choose a lower end service. So there's not really a discount. They feel it's the same thing, but our company's not actually giving or dropping stuff away from that. And I think that's very powerful when you're trying to keep your commissions up in a market. That's tough to keep when everybody's doing everything for smaller apples, we should say, instead of our commissions. With that being said, we've also created a pocket card, a little pocket card cheat sheet that the agents have. One area shows them what the broker set is, and one area is the minimum. And we like this because the minimum shows them exactly what they need to get to bring home to the Jeff Cook Brokerage in order for them to pay for that marketing campaign. But the broker set allows them to say, hey, if I get this, I can actually put some more money in our pocket and actually and get back to being salespeople.
Yeah.
We got to be honest here.
Let me throw one idea out there. I want to make sure everybody understands what Mike's saying because this is a big deal. So I'll tell you how this came about. Is there was a radio advertisement rep that was pitching me on doing some radio advertisement, and the way that he did this was he said, "This is how much it should cost," and I was like, "I'm not paying that much money." And then he said, "Well, he brought a card out and said, well, this," and he showed me. He said, "This is the lowest that I'm allowed from corporate to be able to sell this thing, right?" And Mike's showing an example right there on the screen. So here's what this is. What it does is we have a pitch rate. The pitch rate's the broker set rate that we pitch everybody. And if it takes, it takes. If they say, heck no, we're not selling that, then the agents have the ability to get the card out in real time and say, well, instead of charging you this many apples, we can charge you this many apples, but I can't go below that from the corporate structure standpoint, right? And so it allows our agents to be able to negotiate commissions in real time without having to phone the office back and say, hey, can we do this, if they still want, the aerial photos or whatever the specific option is that they pick. So it's a really big deal. It's different for different price points as we go through that, but it's interesting to be able to see that and to resource your agent with that in real time. It's also a good handy tool for us to decide up front, hey, this is how much all these services cost. What can we afford to give them for? What do we want to aim for? And what's the lowest you're willing to take for them? So that sort of helps us and helps our agents be successful in real time in order to close that deal. So thank you for that, Mike. Do you have anything else you wanted to show? Tell them a little bit about the cancellation guarantee real quick before we switch it back.
Oh, yes. 2 other powerful tools that we have always done, and this is big with our name, and it's becoming very popular in the areas. We have 2 guarantees. It's very hard to promise anything in sales, but we do our best with 2. We have a cancellation guarantee and we have a communication guarantee. The cancellation guarantee is basically an addendum that we add to the listing agreement that shows the seller that we are so confident in our services and our marketing capabilities that you can cancel at any time if you're not satisfied. All we do is ask for 48 hours to see if we can resolve any of the challenges. But if it's my face, if it's how I talk to them, if it's something that they don't like about me, the reason we do that is why punish you having the best service with Jeff Cook's marketing machine? let's find you another agent or somebody through our system. But if not, it's no surprise guarantee. There's no fees, there's no penalties. We get them completely out of that listing. And thus it makes, instead of the listing contract, it makes it a listing agreement. It makes it feel a little bit less stress. We sign that right in live time, we hand it to them, and actually we let them know that, you can go ahead and hide that away. You're not going to need that. So they love that. The other guarantee we do is the communication guarantee, and we put that in writing in an addendum to our listing agreement. We say that we will communicate with you on a weekly basis, and if not, that also in turn allows you to let go and cancel this listing agreement with us. So that's two things that we make sure they understand at the table, that it's a big deal, that you're dealing with us, but you're not stuck with us. We want to prove to you that we're the right brokerage for your family.
Absolutely. That's huge. I mean, the reality is that if we give them those services and then we follow through with it, and then they know they have a get out of jail free card if we don't do a good job servicing them, then they know, they feel comfortable hiring. And through the years, I got to be honest, we've lost this many deals as a result of it, but we've gained this many deals as a result of it. And to encourage people to think about, well, I wouldn't go pay for this and pay for that and then let them out of a listing. I understand. I hear you. But the reality is, how many listings could you win that you didn't win if you did offer something like this? So just think outside the box on a little bit, make the decision that's best for you. So I want to thank you guys for being a part of our call today, both Mike and Chris. We appreciate you guys and all the knowledge that you share. And I really hope that we'll keep on crushing it and get to what's the goal for this year, Mike? How many listings are we going to put up?
850.
850. That's amazing. 850 listings live. And in this market, we'll probably sell 851 of them somehow. So it's crazy.
We're 20 away from 300.
There you go. I like it. That's awesome. Well, anyways, I just want to say thank you guys for joining in. If you're interested in any of the resources, we basically just threw a 3-day training here on you in 20-25 minutes. So I do want to say, if you're interested in any resources here, feel free to reach out to us, and that's hello@realtypartners.com. One more time, hello@realtypartners.com, or just Google Jeff Cook Real Estate and look us up through that, message us, and we'll get back with you that way. If you're interested in our upcoming training events about this 3-day listing boot camp that we offer for you or your agents, we also offer that at realtypartners.com. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you at the top. From the top. Keep crushing. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.